Take a few moments to prepare. Relax, finding a comfortable position. I strongly recommend a supported reclining position because we will be doing a lot of imagery in that physical position. Start to breathe deeply, focusing on releasing any restrictions to your creative process so that you can really dive deep into this visualization and imagery today. We'll take 5 more breaths, relaxing, settling, and opening up your mind. Slowly start to construct a world where you are a mermaid, a merman, a merperson, taking a moment, reclining on a warm rock next to a body of water. Think about the surroundings here, visualizing the support of the rock underneath you, the sun on your body, and then of course, the body of water next to you. Start to think about the sensations of water. Use whatever body of water is your favorite, the ocean, the lake, the river, maybe one particular location that means a lot to you. And start to imagine first what it sounds like when you're in this place. Are the waves gently crashing? Maybe it's more of a lapping sound, water rushing. Or perhaps there are other sounds, like a family laughing, children playing, or the sound of other mer people on a nearby rock sunning themselves as well. When you are in this safe place near water, what does it sound like? Continue to imagine this place and think about the smells that you notice. Maybe you smell the saltiness of the ocean, maybe some seaweed that has swept ashore. If you're in the mountains next to a lake or a river, Maybe you smell pine trees. Maybe there's a storm coming and you can smell the rain in the air. With your eyes closed, what does this safe place next to the water smell like? What does this place taste like? Is there a taste? Do you notice the salt of the ocean on your lips, your skin? If you are envisioning a lake or a river, do you notice the minerality of the water? Does it have a taste to you? And then finally start to think about what the water feels like. Is there a contradiction between the temperature of the water, and compare that to the temperature of the sun shining on your face, or the radiant heat of the rock supporting you? Notice the juxtaposition of those differences. Perhaps the coolness of the water feels inviting compared to the warmth of the sun in your resting place. Start to notice the need to slip into the water to cool off. And notice that as you slowly sink into the water, you start to feel invigorated. Not just relief of getting out of the heat, but a certain type of power. And maybe the power that you are feeling is more passive as you notice the power of the water. Notice how the water moves you. Or maybe you prefer an active power, and you imagine yourself stroking and kicking through the currents. Whether you are passively or actively involved with the water, notice how your state complements the water. You are working with the water, not fighting against it. Allowing your personal power to be a complement to the natural power of the water. Slowly start to become more passive if you weren't already, allowing your body to float to the surface of the water, face up, noticing the sky, feeling the sun on your face again, and most importantly, noticing how your body bobs and floats in the small surf of the water. Because in this visualization, you are a mermaid, merman, or merperson, you remember that you can breathe underwater. So let the body start to feel heavy and sink down to the bottom of your body of water. Notice that even though you are heavy and slowly sinking, you still feel weightless because of the gravity-defying effects of water. Allow the body to continue sinking deeper and deeper until you find rest on a rock at the floor of this body of water. Notice that the rock mimics the rock from the beginning of this visualization. It's comfortable. You're able to recline and relax, and yet feel supported. The only difference is now you are submerged. So notice and compare the change of your senses. Notice that being underwater may have dampened certain senses, but could have heightened others. Notice that there are fewer sounds, and anything that you can hear has a muffled, subdued quality. Perhaps, while relaxed on this rock in your visualization, you decide to open your eyes to look towards the surface. And you notice that the clouds, the crisp blue sky, is not quite as crisp. Maybe the images are even slightly distorted. Relaxing the eyes shut again. Start to notice how the rest of your body feels. Enjoying the weightless quality of the water. Maybe your arms naturally float away from your sides. Maybe your hair is swaying back and forth in the current. But notice that even the current, when submerged, is not quite as strong as it was when you were closer to the surface. The water is still moving, but even the movement of the water is more subdued. Perhaps you notice there's a little bit of a comforting pressure around your body. That pressure should feel like the support of a brace or the comfort of a hug. You are a mermaid, merman, or merperson, and therefore this pressure is comforting. There's no need to panic when you feel the pressure on your body. Let that comforting pressure and the deprivation of your senses start to bring you peace. Slowly start to bring your consciousness back into your body. Maybe starting to be slightly more aware of how the body feels while resting on this rock, submerged on the floor of a body of water. As we start to notice more things about our body, maybe some outside thoughts start to creep in, and you make the conscious decision to kick your way or float your way back to the surface of this body of water. There's no need to abruptly finish the visualization. Continue to imagine yourself as a mermaid, merman, or merperson floating back up to the surface. And with heightened awareness, start to notice how it feels as your body breaks the plane of the surface of water and becomes exposed to air again. Take your time breathing here, feeling the sun upon your skin again as your face starts to dry. And then when you're ready, slowly start to come back to your actual reality. Start to notice that you are no longer floating in a body of water, but relaxed in your home or your office, or wherever you may physically be at this moment. Keep the eyes closed and take 3 more long, deep, balanced inhales and exhales before you decide to reawaken and rejoin the world that surrounds you. Thank you so much for sharing your visualization with me today. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.